Welcome to this video on improving your spoken English. Here is one more video which will help you to make your English better using two types of exercises. I shall give you the first type of exercise, and that is listening and repeating. And the second type of exercise is to think and speak. If you do these exercises regularly, then you will find that the benefit is immense. First, you listen to the exercise where there are sentences which you can use daily. Many of you are hesitating to say anything because you don't have practice of articulation. You think in English in your mind, but you are not speaking it aloud. Therefore, you continue to hesitate to speak. But once you do the exercise of repeating, then you find that a sentence is already given to you. You repeat it 2, 3 times. In this way, you develop self confidence. You speak like you have heard the person who's speaking, you imitate that person, and then you get confidence. Later, you can start speaking using these sentences, using the words which are used there, and also the pronunciation. These three things, if you keep in mind, then you will be able to practice. Listen and repeat. That is the first exercise. Then we shall do the next exercise. Based on the sentences which you have listened to and which you have repeated, you have to think and then you have to speak, where you are generating the language from your own brain. It is not a language which is coming to you from elsewhere. Therefore, I recommend that you do these two exercises. By watching the video till the end, you will get both the exercises clearly in your mind with the right kind of examples. Also, if you run across some difficulties in grammar or vocabulary, watch those videos which have already been uploaded. I always ask you to comment, and many of you comment by saying, please give this or that, a video which is already there on the channel. So I request you to spare a little time and look through the videos. Choose to watch whatever you need urgently first. And then like and share with others. There are many of your friends or many of the people around you who are keen to learn English. I wish that you would share it with them so that the videos reach them and they can tell me what they are learning or what further they would like to learn. Then you also have the subscription button, which you can press if you haven't done it already. Let us now begin with the first exercise, and that is the exercise where we shall talk about the two types of exercises. I have already mentioned to you the first exercise is to listen and repeat. I shall give you some sentences. You listen to each sentence, pause the video if you want. Repeat that sentence 2, 3 times. Keep that sentence in mind. If you watch the video 5 times and repeat the sentences 5 into 5, 25 times, I can assure you by the next day, your confidence is better. You will be able to speak much better English just in the space of one day. But you have to spare that much time on a single day to learn. This is not a very difficult exercise at all. Listen and repeat. That is the first exercise which we are going to do. Here we have the first sentence. You can learn English by practicing daily. Again, I repeat, you can learn English by practicing daily. Repeat the sentence in your mind, but repeat it aloud, making a sound. Repeat it loudly so that your words can be heard by your ears. Second sentence: you must work hard for a few hours every day. Now it's a continuation. You want to learn English, then what do? Practice. You must work hard for a few hours every day. That is the next sentence. Then the third one: you will get better by repeating these sentences. You will get better by repeating these sentences. Then you have the next one: if you want to improve your English, you should watch these videos. If you want to improve your English, you should watch these videos. Watching is listening, and then you repeat, you speaking. Then, of course, you can read whatever is scrolling on the screen. If you press CC, the scrolling comes. And then write down the sentences which you have repeated. So LSRW: listening, speaking, reading, writing, or are improved when you use these sentences. We achieve our goals by being smart. Now, smart has an expansion. When I talk to you about goal setting, I will tell you what SMART stand for. But today I'm using smart as intelligent, smart as somebody who does the best methods to follow up to their goal. So, to achieve your goals, you have to be smart. You can achieve your goals by being smart. Next sentence: we need to know many words to speak good English. We need to know many words to speak good English. Then you have another sentence: I was not able to speak English earlier. I was not able to speak English earlier. When you are learning, please learn slowly. Don't go fast. One of the best methods of learning to speak is to start speaking slowly. Therefore, I'm repeating the sentences slowly. Otherwise, if I was reading, I would read like this. You can learn English by practicing daily. You must work hard for a few hours every day. You will get better by repeating these sentences. If you want to improve your English, you should watch these videos. We achieve our goals by being smart. We need to know many words to speak good English. I was not able to speak English earlier. Now, that is the pace at which we usually speak. But for learning, we go slow. We repeat the sentences slowly at the pace at which we can easily pronounce each word clearly. That clarity, that slow speech will help you to speak better when you're speaking in real life. This is only an exercise. We are doing the exercise. Stand in front of the mirror if you want. Take these sentences and then repeat them. Or put your camera in front of you and record. Speak out the sentences, then watch yourself. How are you speaking them? What is the way in which you are pronouncing each word, or where you are hesitating, where you're unable to say something which you want to say? All these are very helpful. Now let us continue to repeat the sentences. The remaining sentences I will read one by one. Remember, this is the first exercise. Listen and repeat. Now I'm learning English every day. That is the next sentence. Now I'm learning English every day. I help myself by repeating all these sentences regularly. I help myself by repeating all these sentences regularly. Now you have the next sentence. I make new sentences after listening to these. That is our second exercise. Think and speak. I make new sentences after listening to these. By using new words, I improve my English constantly. By using new words, I improve my English constantly. I need not get frightened to speak English. I need not get frightened. You can say needn't. I needn't get frightened to speak English. Next, I can become better by learning something new every day. Now, this is what we have to do. If we are really interested in learning, we must do it every day. Suppose you need to do it every day for a month and then you are satisfied, you can do it for a month. Suppose you want to learn further, you do it for 6 months. But you have to do it every day, not alternate day, not twice a week, not once a week. This is not the way to improve. So I can become better by learning something new every day. Now we have the next sentence. He is helping me to learn English. Suppose you have a friend, you have a member of your family, you have some neighbor, then you can say, he is helping me to learn English. Then you say, she is practicing English with me. That would be wonderful if you have somebody who can practice with you. So you repeat by saying, she's practicing with me. Both of you are learning English. And if you practice together, you can easily evaluate each other. Say that this you spoke very well, this you did not speak very well. In this way, by helping each other, you become better. Both of you improve if you do that. They want to speak English and write English well. They want to speak English and write English well. So, speaking and writing both, they want to improve. He could not speak English as a student. You're again talking about somebody. He could not speak English as a student. Now you have the next sentence. She used to sing English songs in school. Wonderful way of learning English is to listen to English songs. In one video, I'll tell you about songs which you can listen to and how you can improve your English. So here we have a sentence. She used to sing English songs in school. Then you have the next sentence. We may ask many questions about how to learn English. Many of you are doing this in your comments. One person writes the name every day, Neeraj. I would like you to write 2 or 3 sentences in English every day about what you are learning. So you can say, you can ask questions also, and you can get replies to all your questions. So the sentence is, we may ask many questions about how to learn English. Would you like to learn good English this year? Remember, on the beginning of the year, I gave you Mastering English in 2025. So the question is, would you like to learn good English this year? Question form. So these are some of the sentences with which you can practice. You can do the exercises and you can practice. Once you practice like this, what happens to you is that you are getting the confidence to speak. You are able to speak well. Now, the next exercise is where you are going to use these sentences to think up a few new sentences. The sentences I'm using are the same, I'm not changing the sentences. But the second exercise is called think and speak. I'm sure you remember what the first exercise was called. Please type in the comments box the name of the first exercise and the name of the second exercise. You say, this video has two exercises. Exercise 1, and you write down the name. Exercise 2, I gave you the name just now. I will see how many of you are listening carefully and how many of you are able to recollect what you have just heard. So we move to the second exercise. Now, the first sentence was, you can learn English by practicing daily. Now, you can change the sentence. Instead of saying, you can learn English by practicing daily, you can make a sentence by saying, we learn English if we work hard, or we learn English if we speak every day. We learn English when we spend some time listening to English. What are you doing? You are using the same sentence which I have given you, thinking about this sentence and trying to make other sentences which are similar to it. Similar in the sense it is neither same in structure nor is it the same in meaning, but it has something to do with learning English, practicing daily, and somebody who's doing it. So instead of saying you, we can say, I can learn English by practicing daily. She can learn English by practicing daily. He can learn English by practicing daily. They can learn English by practicing daily. We can learn English by practicing daily. This is called language drill. I have given you 2 videos of language drill where I told you how you can construct sentences. But here, we are not depending on the text of the language drill. The language drill is coming from our thoughts. It is not coming from a table which I have given you. So you use each word, for each word you change, and then you get so many sentences as I showed you. So instead of saying you can say I, we, he, she, they, all these you can say. Or you can put a noun by saying my friend, or you can say my sister, my brother, or my classmate, my neighbor, or, an uneducated child. These are all possible ways in which you can use the subject of the sentence instead of using you. What are you doing? You're using your thoughts. Think and speak. So take one sentence and speak 5 or 10 sentences from that. Now we have said learn. Instead of using the verb learn, you can say speak. So we have again another drill. You can speak English by practicing daily. Instead of saying speak or learn, we can say you can improve English by practicing daily. Instead of saying learn, speak, improve, we can say you can better your English by practicing daily. Better is usually an adjective, but here we are using it as a verb. Instead of learn, instead of improve, instead of speak, we are saying better. So what did you get? You got a language drill where you have 4 sentences with 4 different verbs. The entire sentence has remained the same. There is nothing which has changed except the verb. In the first instance, we changed the subject. In the second instance, we changed the verb. So from one sentence, I showed you how you can get 10 or 12 sentences. So if I've given you 20 sentences, 20 into 10 is 200 sentences from this small exercise. Suppose in a single day, you speak 200 sentences. I can assure you by tomorrow your English will be much better. It will not be perfect in a day, but it will be much better. Many learners become disappointed They say we tried for 1 year. I remember one elderly lady went to class for 6 months. Every evening after finishing all her work, she would go to learn English. But she learned a lot of English. She didn't learn how to speak. And after 6 months, she gave up the course, saying, "Sorry, I could not learn to speak." In the class, she would be made to speak. She would speak nicely. But when she came out onto the road, or she went to the market, or she met neighbors who spoke English, she could not speak. So, why? Because she was not generating the thoughts from her mind to make sentences on her own. I want all of you who are struggling to speak. You say, "I understand well, I write well, I cannot speak." Take these sentences, think and speak. Think up a sentence, think the whole sentence, and then speak. I'm not spending time in thinking. I'm just giving you sentences. But don't do that. You can spend a little time in thinking because you're learning the language. So after thinking, you make those few sentences and then you go ahead. Suppose you have another sentence. We achieve our goals by being smart. This sentence also I gave you. Our goals are realized when we work in a smart way. You can change the sentence. Instead of saying we, you can say you achieve your goals if you by being smart. Instead of saying smart, you can use a bigger word by saying you achieve your goals by being committed. You achieve your goals by being sincere. Committed is a person who devotes full energy. COMMITTED. Committed. Then sincere. SINCERE. So you're replacing smart by saying committed, by saying sincere, or you can say by working hard. You know, instead of smart or sincere or committed, you can say that we achieve our goals by working hard. We achieve our goals by practicing every day. You combine the sentences now. Some words are there in some sentences, some words are there in some sentences. Now, those of you who feel it is difficult, please sit with your notebook. This is a classroom. It's just not a video. Please understand. Why I have called this as a classroom is because I'm teaching it exactly like you were taking a course. So sit with your notebook and your pen. Write down, stop the video, write it down, then replay and write it again. Check if you've written correctly. If you do these things, you get the benefit. If you don't do this, then no benefit comes. Every day I put a video, every day you watch a video, you say, "Oh, madam, it is a nice video. Thank you." You send me a heart or you send me good morning. That is not the way to learn. When you say good morning, write 5 sentences in English along with that comment good morning. If you do that, that means you're practicing English. I feel very happy when you say good morning because you are wishing that my morning is good. I like that. But I also like it when you write a long comment, thinking and writing. I gave you exercise thinking and speaking. Now I'm telling you thinking and writing in your comments. So you can use these sentences and write 5 or 10 sentences. Those of you who already know very good English can give some ideas to the others by writing 5 sentences on this. Please do not write comments where you are giving an elaborate description of something which the other learners cannot make use of at this point of time. Then what you need to do is you need to have your own videos where you can give them advice. But if you give some help based on what I told you, the two exercises which I mentioned today, then that will be beneficial. I help myself by repeating all these sentences regularly. That is one more sentence I gave you. So instead of saying, I help myself, you can say that, you know, we help each other. You can change I help myself to saying we help each other by repeating these sentences regularly. Instead of regularly, you can say daily, or you can say every day, or you can say often. These are some of the ways in which we can change the sentences. By changing one word in the sentence, you can repeat the structure and you can get many sentences. If we practice like this, that is called a language drill, which I started with when I started the channel. When we do language drill, like we do physical drill to become, strong. If you remember in your school, they made you do all these exercises, moving your arms, moving your legs, moving your torso. That is a drill, physical drill, to make you strong. The language drill is to make you strong in the use of language. If you can do that, that'll be really good. So keep practicing these things. I have just given you two exercises today. And I have told you that if you practice these two exercises regularly, or if you practice it today many times, then you will see the benefit in a day's time. You don't need to take, 15 days, 20 days to see improvement. Improvement you can see every day. And then you will find that after a month, after 2 months, the improvement is huge. But it begins slowly. It's like taking some treatment, taking some medicine, where the first tablet you take or the first injection you take might not give you much relief. It gives you a little relief. You feel, okay, this is good. Then when you continue it for a little time, you find that the benefit is much more. Till a day comes when you don't need it anymore. I would like each one of you to reach that level where instead of watching my videos, you will yourself be able to speak like this, make your own videos, and put it on YouTube or whichever other place you feel like putting it. I wish you all the best. I'm sure each one of you will practice this and learn a lot of good English. Thank you.